the Silver Seed Orchard. In the heart of Verdant Valley, where the grass smelled like peppermint and the clouds looked like spun sugar, lived two best friends named Arlo and Mira. Every year, on the first day of spring, the elder of the valley, a wise man named Barnaby, visited the children to give them their very first seed coins. These weren't ordinary coins. They were heavy, glowing discs that hummed with a quiet magic. Arlo held his coin tight, his eyes wide with excitement, while Mira tucked hers safely into a small velvet pouch. Barnaby gathered the children under the great oak. "These coins are more than just treasures," he explained, his voice like the rustle of dry leaves. "They are seeds for your future. You can use them to buy the things you want today, or you can plant them in the glass orchard. If you plant them, they will grow. But remember, a seed spent is a seed gone, and a seed planted requires patience." Mira listened intently, nodding her head as she looked at the pouch in her hand. Arlo couldn't wait. As soon as Barnaby finished, he ran to the valley market. The stalls were filled with whiz-zings, mechanical toys that spun and whistled and changed colors. "I want that one," Arlo shouted, pointing at the biggest whiz-zing of all. He handed over his seed coin without a second thought. For the rest of the afternoon, Arlo played happily, his whiz-zing blurring in a rainbow of light, while the other children watched in awe. Mira, however, walked slowly toward the glass orchard. Inside the shimmering building, there were thousands of glass jars lined up on shelves. She found a small, empty jar with her name on it. Carefully, she placed her seed coin at the bottom. "Grow well," she whispered. She knew she couldn't play with the coin like Arlo played with his toy, but she felt a quiet sense of pride as she walked home with her hands empty but her heart full. To earn more seed coins, Arlo and Mira took jobs in the valley. They spent their mornings picking sunberries from the highest bushes. It was hard work, and the sun was hot. By the end of the week, they each had 5 more coins. Arlo looked at his coins and then at a new toy, a turbo scooter. "If I spend these now," Arlo thought, "I can ride faster than anyone." Mira looked at her coins and thought of her jar in the orchard. Mira returned to the glass orchard with her 5 new coins. When she looked into her jar, she gasped. Her original seed coin had sprouted. A tiny silver stem with a single shimmering leaf had grown overnight. "Barnaby calls this the gift of time," a voice said. It was Barnaby, checking on the jars. "Because you left your coin alone, it began to grow. Every coin you add now will help this little tree get stronger and grow even more leaves." Arlo, meanwhile, had spent his 5 coins on the turbo scooter, but it had already broken. He wanted a new one, but he had no coins left. He saw a merchant known as the Shadow Crow, who offered Arlo a fast coin. "Take this," the crow hissed, "and you can buy your scooter today. You just have to pay me back 2 coins for every one I give you later." Arlo was so focused on the scooter that he agreed and signed a dark, heavy scroll. The following weeks were difficult for Arlo. Every time he earned a coin picking berries, the Shadow Crow appeared to take it away, plus an extra one. Arlo had to work twice as hard as Mira just to stay even. He was exhausted and had no toys left to show for it, as the turbo scooter was still broken. He watched Mira, who seemed relaxed and happy, even though she wasn't buying anything new from the market stalls. One afternoon, Mira invited Arlo to the glass orchard. Her little silver tree was now a foot tall, with dozens of shimmering leaves. "Look, Arlo," she said gently. "The leaves are falling off and turning into new seed coins. My tree is making money for me while I sleep." Arlo looked at the tree and then at his own empty jar. He told Mira about the Shadow Crow and how he felt like he was running in place. "It's not too late," Mira said. She opened her jar and handed Arlo 2 of the silver leaves that had turned into coins. "Use these to pay off the Shadow Crow. Then, start your own tree. I'll help you." Arlo's eyes filled with tears. He realized that Mira wasn't just richer than him. She was free. He took the coins and promised that from now on, he would think about tomorrow as much as he thought about today. Years passed in Verdant Valley. Arlo and Mira were no longer children, but they still visited the glass orchard. Arlo's tree was now almost as large as Mira's. Barnaby often walked with them, proud of the forest of glass jars that now filled the building. The valley was prosperous because everyone had learned to plant and wait. Arlo had learned that the best thing money could buy wasn't a toy, but the peace of mind that came from a growing orchard. On a warm spring evening, Arlo and Mira sat on a hilltop, watching the sunset. They didn't need the newest gadgets or the flashiest whiz-zings to be happy. They had their silver trees, their friendship, and the wisdom to know the difference between a want and a need. As the stars began to twinkle, they looked down at the valley, knowing their future was as bright and steady as the glow of a silver leaf.